Okay, shall we?
Hello and welcome. I have been watching Sam create what became Pridefit over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And it has been very fun to see all the different iterations and designs and workouts. So, when he asked me to make a little video with him in advance of the Pridefit app launching on October 3rd, I thought that it would be fun to do a little interview style, so you could walk us all through the very long road it's taken to get where we are today.
We'll try not to make this video super long.
No, but the road is a journey, and the journey is a story. I have some questions prepared.
Okay, great.
Great. How did all of this get started? How did Pridefit start?
Well, I was personal training for a while, and then I went on tour. And then when the pandemic happened, we got COVID together, March of 2020.
Absolutely.
Great. I was still doing personal training just online, and we went to Wisconsin. We were kind of doing our own programming, and everything just shifted into kind of an online model. So people were looking for workouts to do at home. I really enjoyed making those workouts, and that's where Leichtning Health kind of came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing that was scariest about Leichtning Health was that, everyone kept on saying to me, like, niche down. And I was really scared to be an exclusively queer fitness company, because, like, why do you need one of those?
Okay.
And then Leichtning Health, like, very organically just shifted into a primarily queer company. So then that's where Pridefit came about. Maybe, like, early 2021.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Leichtning Health for
Almost a
6
year.
to 9
Yes,
months,
yeah,
we would
exactly.
say. But you automatically already knew from that first summer how important kind of digital fitness communities were going to be for people.
Yeah.
There was immediate demand. Even when we were isolating alone in Wisconsin, there was a whole group of people doing your programming.
Yeah.
Kind of from around the world.
Yeah, it was very surprising to me, and it reiterated that it wasn't going to go away. Online fitness was kind of here to stay, and whether that meant that you were going to always do at-home workouts, maybe not. Some people definitely are. But there was always going to be an at-home component, and there's always going to be a community component for people at the gym. So that's what I was trying to kind of package up with Pridefit.
Did you think that you were going to create an app?
No, because from everything that I was told, apps are so expensive and they take so much time, and we had these resources that we were using. We were using something called TrueCoach to serve our programming that was doing like a fine job. We had like Facebook groups, and we were using Kajabi for some like resources online, and then we went to a Slack channel, and we had all these apps that we were using. I was like, I don't really need my own,
So what happened? You hired an app company.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that happened. I think I did get too frustrated with us using like 5 different apps. I remember there was a welcome email for Pridefit at one point where I was like, and then you're gonna download this, and then you're gonna download this. And I was like, this is too much. I really need this to be kind of like an all-in-one thing. But Brenna, my coworker, and I, for Pridefit, we were looking at app companies, and we probably went to like 30 different app companies to see who would be a good fit, and we couldn't find anyone. We like looked for a while, and then we're like, I guess we're not gonna do this because it's so bad.
Sure.
And then we were looking through the app store one day at different fitness apps that we did like, like what is like the vibe here? How can we say to these app companies, this is what we're generally looking for? And there was one that was perfect, and I was like, okay, I gotta reach out to them.
So you just cold emailed, if you will,
And yeah.
and said, will you build an app with me?
Yeah, and then we had a meeting, and we kind of decided together that it was a really good fit, and the rest is history. We're making an app.
Oh, made. You've made an app.
We made
the
an app.
app is made.
Yeah, you've seen it.
So what happened then?
Oh, this is the part that you think is not going to take very long, but then took like a really long time. We spent 2 years. I think it's going to be like 2.5 years by the time that we actually launch the app. And the reason why is that so much needs to go into this process. Very collaborative, and collaboration takes a long time, especially when people are very attached to the product. The company I was working with really wanted it to succeed.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to succeed. We all have like these very strong feelings about it. So we had to start with what is like the ethos of the brand so that we could then do the branding. And then we worked with the company. One of the main reasons I wanted to work with them is because their branding and their design is exceptional. And so, but that did take a while because we definitely didn't land on the perfect branding right away, and we had to kind of work for it, which I'm happy we did. And then after we did branding, then we had to do videography and photography, and yeah.
And as I understand it, the way that this is different in terms of fitness apps, or one of the reasons that it's different, is there's a lot of apps or app companies that will just basically white label. They will take your face and some of your programming and plug it into an app that they already have.
Yeah, with like hundreds of other fitness influencers.
Right. Yeah. And that's a faster process.
Absolutely, much faster.
But it's not the better product, as I understand it.
I mean, it still had so many of the problems that I was trying to avoid, and primarily that being that I wanted autonomy. I wanted, if our members had a feature that they wanted, I wanted to be able to actually make that feature versus it kind of being like a done deal. Just like the shell was done, we're not gonna be able to make any adjustments to it.
Right. This is purpose built for the community that you've built.
Yeah.
You were speaking earlier about the photography and videography of the app. Can you take us into a little bit of that? Because, and we're a little biased, it is the best.
It is the best
photography and videography I've ever seen.
I mean, it's exceptional. Jared is actually there for the shooting of it, and a couple of years ago, Jared and I did a modeling gig with these photographers, and we're like, I don't know who they are, but the shots that they have are the best. Like it is some of the best craftsmanship I've ever seen. And it's funny, I found out later that they went to school with my middle sister, Anna.
Right.
Rochester Institute of Technology. And so Pony and Brett are this like mastermind power duo photographer. They're just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we've become really good friends with them over the years, so I asked them if they would do the photography and the videography of the app. And I am so overjoyed that they said yes. They also like fitness, which is, it was a nice, they weren't like coming into it completely with fitness being a complete unknown to them.
Right.
They knew a lot about it.
Which is funny because they work mostly, as I understand it, in like very high fashion photography.
Yeah.
And product photography for very high fashion brands. So for them to also be very interested in like lifting and like CrossFit inspired workouts and HIIT workouts and powerlifting is wild.
I mean, it's hilarious because Brett is like so buff. He's
right.
And then Pony is like so gorgeous, like just gorgeous red hair, and she always dresses perfectly.
To the nines. And so strong.
And she's so strong. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, they did better than I possibly could have asked for, and so that's one of the things that I'm most proud of the app is like the photography of it.
Yeah, and to add on to that, it's not just the photography that you'll see on the app or on the Instagram or in media kits. It's also the videography in the sense that you demonstrated each movement individually, left and right sides, for every movement that is going into your program.
Yeah.
And they filmed that from multiple angles, and that's what people will be following along with in the app.
It's true. And, I was very sore.
Right, but I've never seen anything like that before in an app where they're actually following along with you.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's a full video.
I mean, it goes to show why this process takes so long.
Right.
The photography, the videography, having to film on-demand workouts. We have hundreds of those filmed that have taken me forever to do, you know? And then also like the programming that I had to write, it doesn't just take a long time to write the program. I also have to make sure that it's in a format that the app company can put into the app, and then they have to do all of this work to make sure that there aren't any bugs, and it's pretty unbelievable. The process is extensive, absolutely, to say the least. Yeah.
So we've covered why the app, what kind of app, branding, photography, videography. What's next?
We needed people to try the app.
Yes.
I was obviously using it. I asked you to use it and some of our friends to use it, my family to use it, but we needed, the real Pridefit community to try it. So we launched the app in, I think it was June 24th, and we ultimately just needed people to try the workouts, make sure that we didn't, program things that didn't make sense in this new format, see if there were any features that they were really missing or that they really wanted to see.
And to be fair, you're working with a sample size now. It's not just probably 10 people using the app.
Yeah, it's hundreds.
400, 500 some people, all giving feedback.
Yeah.
Which I imagine was both very helpful and very overwhelming.
Oh, we needed to do it, but it was like definitely opening yourself up to a lot, because it's hard not to take it personally, you know, like I've been doing this for the past like 2.5 years, and I want it to be the best it can possibly be. Also, the really hard thing about an app is that I am not a programmer. So there are things that some members would want that seem like a really easy fix. And then I talk to the team and they're like, I know this sounds easy, but I need you to trust us that like this is actually really complicated. So this is gonna take some time. And then there are other things that people asked for that I was like, there's no way we're gonna get that. And then the team did it like the next day.
Fast.
You know,
right.
It just goes to show that like there's such a disconnect with people who don't code.
Sure.
It's like, how can we possibly know how long things are gonna take? But it does take a lot of things out of your control, which is scary, because of course, if it were up to me, I would take every bit of feedback and say like, yeah, I'm gonna do my best to fix that as soon as possible. But sometimes we have to prioritize things, and yeah, it's just scary.
And also like a massive thank you to the Pridefit community for believing in this process and coming on board and serving as beta testers for this first version of the app.
Absolutely. There have been so many times in the past 2 years where we've been building to this, and I'm very, very proud of what we've made, and I think it already is, and it's going to be the best fitness app for the Pridefit community.
Yeah.
But y'all have been so patient. Truly, you've made so many allowances of times when, you know, things have not been exactly perfect, and I very much appreciate that, because also we couldn't have made the app without the feedback that we've gotten over the past couple of months.
Right. Okay, great. Writing my own question. So when we started talking about the fitness community that kind of naturally formed that first summer of the pandemic, that community has always been such an important part for you.
Yeah.
This app has a community feature that's different than what you've done in the past or the tools you've used before. Can you kind of walk us through what's new?
Yeah, so we initially did Facebook groups like everyone was doing. Then we moved to the Slack channel, and that's been good. But once again, it was just all over the place, and I wanted everything to be in one app. It's just very important to me. So we created the Pridefit community inside of the app, and in that community, there are the places where you can get the feedback that you need for exercise and for nutrition. You know, if you have specific questions about what you should be eating, or specific questions about how to improve your back squat, you know, there are places in there that you can talk to your Pridefit coach, and we can chat about how to improve that. Also, there are so many different resources. There's our Power Habits course, all these grocery shopping lists, and protein guides, and, you know, sleep tips, and all these resources. So that's going to be the other part. And then the third part of the community, and this is kind of my favorite part, is more of just the Pridefit forum. We call it the Gayborhood.
Sure.
And I know it's going to have some mixed feelings from people, I'm sure. But the Gayborhood is going to be where you can discuss TV and movies, where you can discuss books, pop culture, video games, whatever you want. And that is, and has been, what I've noticed, kind of the part of the community that people are able to latch onto, that makes the fitness part not quite so intimidating. It also makes it a little bit more sustainable for ourselves, because like I think that when people are so solely focused on just like fitness and exercise, they don't have anything keeping you around, sticking you to the program.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the only way that we see people getting the results that they want to see is just by sticking around, you know, like building consistency. So that does seem to kind of be the magic solution, if there is one, of Pridefit, is like the idea that we're going to give you the resources for the exercise and the nutrition, but we're also going to hopefully give you a community that makes you want to stick around.
Yeah.
Look at these people moving a big chest out there.
Huh.
What are they doing?
A dresser.
What?
A dresser.
Is it a dresser?
Yeah.
Oh.
October 3rd. The launch. What's the deal?
Yeah, October 3rd. It's all happening.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's wild because we've been waiting so long for this, and I'm so excited for people to actually be able to like go into the App Store and download it, you know?
Yeah.
And there are even more features than what the current Pridefit members have. You know, we are adding the habit tracker, and the community will actually be inside of the app like we've been talking about. And what's funny is that in a lot of ways, it feels like an ending, but in way more ways than that, it feels like such a beginning in terms of we're gonna now be getting so much more feedback of, you know,
Sure.
what people are really enjoying in the app, what people are looking for. And now that the app is going to be launched, we're going to be able to make a roadmap of like, oh, what exactly should we be prioritizing? And, you know, should we be doing more challenges? Should we be putting out more bodybuilding workouts? You know, like it'll be cool to be able to have the product running and then be looking at like, what's next?
Fine tuning once it's
fine-tuning.
already
Exactly.
going. And sharing this community, these programs, hundreds of workouts, with a much larger group of people, which is lovely.
Yeah, there are workouts that I filmed like over 1.5 years ago that I have just recently gone back and looked at because I was like, I forgot that I even filmed this. But they're going into the app and you're like, wow.
I mean, do we have any idea how many workouts are in the database?
Well, little T. So there are about 100 to start.
Yes.
And we're gonna be releasing 2 workouts every week.
There's 100 to start already in the app for people to kind of choose. Like, it's Wednesday, I just want to do boop. Yep.
For the on-demand workouts.
Yes.
And there are a bunch of like sessions too that people can do.
Right.
And that's like endless.
Ongoing, right.
Ongoing.
As long as you can write a program, there'll be something for them to do. I was saying even broadly, more broadly, how many workouts do you think you've filmed?
You know,
A number.
I think probably, maybe I'm like overshooting, but I think probably like 300 workouts maybe.
I would say that's probably conservative.
Maybe it's conservative. I've thrown some of them away. Some of them were not good, which you gotta do. You know, you gotta be.
But 300, that's like, that's...
You got to be realistic with yourself and say, that was bad, I'll redo that.
I can do better.
I can do better.
And some of the old ones are very hard.
Some of the old ones were very hard, and some of the new ones are really hard, you know? We gotta... Yeah, y'all, October 3rd, that is when the app comes out, and you can go to pridefit.com to download it. We're really excited to hear what y'all think about it. Thanks for watching.